Okay, I'm back again. We're talking about linear regression and I left something out. Alright, so I wanted to show you some extra stuff. These are the 2 steps to perform the linear regression. We've talked about that. We need to enter our data. We need to perform the linear regression. I wanted to add to that list. I wanted to show you how to graph the data points and graph the regression line so you could see what they looked like. Okay, so before I jot that down, let me go back to this example. So these are the data that we just entered into our calculator in the previous video. So if you need to go and do that again, you can if you want to work along with us. And this is the regression line down at the bottom that we found by doing the linear regression. So I want to put both of those things into my calculator so that I can see both the data points and the line, so I can see how well my data is fit by my line. So to do that, to graph the data points, I'm going to go to the y equals screen. That's a button right under the screen on the left hand side. I'm going to arrow up to plot 1. Okay, and then I'm going to hit enter. Usually plot 1 is set up to read x values and y values from list 1 and list 2, and usually it will create a scatter plot for you. Now if you have some other settings involved there, then you may need to make some adjustments, but let me do that with you. So if I hit y equals, right, I'm going to clear out some other stuff I have. If I arrow up to plot 1 and hit enter, when I arrow back down, you can see that it's highlighted. Okay, later on, when you're done with this example, if you want to turn it off, just arrow back up, hit enter again, and it'll turn off plot 1. Okay, and then we want to hit graph. Okay, and I don't think I listed that there. So we're going to hit graph, and then the window, we need to adjust what we see on this screen, which is called the window. For this particular type of example, the calculator can create a perfect window for you. And so it's under the zoom key. So I'll write this down in a second, but we're going to hit zoom. And number 9 is the one we want. Whoops, I hit the wrong button. Let me start again. Zoom. And I'm going to go down to number 9. Zoom stat. Okay, so if I hit enter, zoom stat will create a good window for me to be able to see my data points, and there they are. Okay, so let me write that down. So we did the y equals, we arrowed up to plot 1, we hit enter to turn it on, and then we hit graph, which is the button on the right hand side just under the screen. And then to change the window, we hit zoom number 9, which is zoom stat. And we got to see the data points. Okay, so now that we've seen the points, if you want to add your regression line, you can go back to the y equals screen and just type in your regression line, right? Our regression line was 1.13x plus 27.32. So if we type that in, let's do that. So I have my points. To add my regression line, I'm going to go to y equals, and I'm going to type in 1.13x plus 27.32. And then I'm going to hit graph again. So that takes my data points and it adds in my regression line. If you look closely, you can see that the points are not exactly on the line. A couple of them are below, a couple of them are above, but this is the line that comes the closest to touching all of those data points. Okay, very good. So you used our graphing calculator to give us a visual representation of what we just did on paper and found a line that fit the best. I hope you found this useful. And I apologize for all my stuttering in this video. Alright, well, good luck. Take some time and practice this.